All right, let's dive right into one of the most intense chapters of this story. We're going to follow a character named Jack as she goes up against this bizarre, terrifying tower. And let me tell you, it's a journey that's going to push her to the absolute brink, physically, mentally, and it's even going to mess with her sense of time itself.
This line right here, it just says it all, doesn't it? We're talking about a desperate struggle for survival, where the only way to go is up, and there is absolutely, positively no turning back.
So, let's set the scene. Our hero, Jakor, is just completely spent. She's exhausted, she's dehydrated, she's just crossed this huge desert, and she finally stumbles upon this massive, imposing, totally featureless castle. She's just looking for a place to crash.
And right away, things get weird. This isn't just any door. She reaches out for this heavy, dragon-shaped knocker, and the thing's head actually turns. It stares at her for what feels like forever, and then bam! A deafening roar and a huge blast of fire.
So the fire actually blasts the door open. She dives inside this tiny, empty room, and the second she's in, it slams shut. Just sealed. She scrambles back, tries to get it open, but there's nothing. No knob, no handle, not even a seam. She is completely and utterly trapped.
Okay, so there's no going back. Her only option? Up. A black metal spiral staircase, which, is pretty much a nightmare for someone who's terrified of heights, but it gets so much worse. This tower, its cruelty is not just about a physical climb. See, the tower starts messing with time. Every time she reaches a landing, she sees a vision of her grandfather. But it's not just one vision. It's him at different points in his life, over a span of decades. And he's just sitting there, staring at a plate of peas he refuses to eat. And she's stuck watching, totally helpless behind this invisible wall.
And this just keeps happening. It's a total recurring nightmare. Same setup, every single landing. The barrier, her aging grandfather, that weird plate of peas, her panic and her fear of heights are just getting worse and worse. She's screaming at him, she's banging on the barrier with her boot, but it's like she's not even there. She can't do a single thing.
So at this point, she's absolutely dreading the next landing. She's convinced she's about to watch her grandfather die. But then, something changes. The whole vibe just shifts. The next room is filled with this warm, golden light. And for just a second, she thinks, okay, maybe this is it. Maybe it's finally over.
But no, the invisible barrier's gone, but so is her grandfather. All that's in the room is the table, that same plate of peas, and a locked white door. She's completely defeated. So she just slumps down at the table. And then, when she looks back, she sees it, a vision, but this time it's her. She's on the other side of the barrier, which is back now, and she's desperately banging on it, trying to get into the room she's already sitting in.
And here's the kicker. The Jack in the vision, her future self, has a tattoo on her right hand. It's the Eye of Horus. Now Jack knows what this means. It's a symbol of protection, of healing, but it's also about the selfless sacrifice a child makes for a father figure. A huge, huge clue.
So what does this all mean? Well, it's a classic time loop, a bootstrap paradox. On one hand, it's great news, right? She knows she survives this place because she's literally seen her future self. But on the other hand, her survival is somehow all wrapped up in this future sacrifice, symbolized by a tattoo she doesn't even have yet. It's a real mindbender.
So while her mind is reeling from all this time travel stuff, her body is just failing. She's starving, she's dehydrated, her judgment is totally shot, and it's making her ADHD go haywire.
And what's sitting right there on the table in front of her? That same plate of peas from the visions. Now, normally Jacques would laugh off any old stories about not eating fairy food or whatever. But right now, in this state, she can't trust her own brain. Is it a trap, or is it her only chance?
She's so out of it, she can't make a rational decision. So what does she do? She basically outsources the choice to fate. She takes off her cowboy boot, makes up a rule: if it falls left, don't eat; if it falls right, eat, and just tosses it in the air.
And it lands on the right. So that's it. Decision made. She braces herself, grabs the spoon. Apparently they smell like old sweaty sneakers. She holds her nose and just shoves a mouthful in. It's disgusting, but that bit of moisture is the first real relief she's had in ages.
But of course, this was never just about getting a meal. The second she swallows, things start happening. And it is deeply,
deeply unsettling.
The first thing she registers is an audible click from across the room. She looks up, and that white door at the far end, the one that was locked, it's open. Passage has been granted.
But then she goes to put the spoon down, and the peas change. They morph into a plate full of eyeballs, just staring up at her. So yeah, that was the price of admission. Gruesome. And this might be the strangest part of all. She sees this horrific plate of eyeballs and feels nothing. No disgust, no horror, nothing. She just calmly gets up from the table and walks towards that now open door.
She steps through that doorway, into this blinding white light, leaving that ordeal behind her. But you're left wondering, what did that passage truly cost her? And what in the world is waiting for her on the other side? Is it a promise of escape, or is it just the next, even worse threat?